really a fan of the wearing a t-shirt and sweating while skating a curb in February vibe. So I feel like all of ASU's campus was like a video game level. It was kind of overwhelming. There was like 200 heads, like everywhere you look, just skating. Like even the campus cops didn't know what to do. But honestly, I had fun just skating the curb outside of Mitchell Park with my homies yesterday. It was a good time. Yeah, hell yeah. On the sesh, there you go. Shout out every single person that's out here. Shout out the Northwest Rippers, you guys are killing it. And yeah, just all my friends and family, love you guys. Hell yeah.
Just for funsies, I want you to look around this space right now. Look at the person next to you, the person behind you, the person in front of you, and consider that everybody in this warehouse at some point in their life, they have either experienced trauma, they are currently experiencing trauma, or they will experience trauma in the future. And it's not like you experience it once and it's like you check it and you're like, okay, I'm done. No, you know, it could happen many times throughout your life.
So when you experience a traumatic event and your sense of safety, belonging, and dignity become highly jeopardized, your brain and your body work together to create stress responses. So you all might have heard of fight or flight, and more accurately, we can see 5 different stress responses, which are fight, flight, freeze, appease, and dissociate.
What's your highlight so far?
My highlight so far? Just being among so many friends.
Hell yeah.
The feelings, you know?
Love it.
This is off the record.
Off the record.
Off the record.
Yes, 100%.
I got in on, I guess, Thursday afternoon till, I guess, Tuesday. I'm gonna stay an extra day. I'm learning lots and getting a sunburn, so it's sick. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. It was skate shop day the other day, so shout out Michelle and Antisocial. Shout out Good News in Victoria. Those are the homies.
Matt Price. Didn't make his flow tag last year, but we forgive him for that. Matt, of course, I've known you my entire life. You've shot photos with me and with all of our friends and chronicled our entire lives. Shot every horrible hat phase I've ever been through. The hat beanie, the heenie, the Jack Sparrow bandana, the fedora, the pink fedora. Yeah, all of those. So Mother Goose, the Life Aquatic of Steve Zissou beanie. So yeah, you have all my dirtiest photos. No, but Matt is, you know, I say this sincerely. It's cool that we're standing next to each other with all these people. As you know, Matt is probably the best skate photographer on the planet. And beyond that, I think that Matt has invented a new language that has adapted photos for the current internet age. And what I mean by that is, like, a couple years ago, I feel like everyone had this prediction that with Instagram pivoting so much to video that basically like skate photos were dead, and Matt was like, no, fuck you, skate photos are back, and we're gonna share them all over the place, and they're gonna be awesome and inspire people to go skate and make content and really capture the energy of skateboarding. And of course, as we know, he does that better than anybody. So yeah, let's go.
It just depends on who it is, what it is. If it's something really scary for someone and I know they're just going to do it once, I'll probably shoot a safe photo, because that's like, you have to put the respect for the skater and the trick over your art, right? So this is a good example of that. So Nick Matthews, the gnarliest backstroke I've ever seen in my life. So this is the photo that got published. This is the photo that ran, right? This is the photo you would know. This was the first angle I shot, and this was like me, like, I wasn't wanting to shoot a safe photo. I was just like, oh, I want this, like, the building's cool, I want symmetry, I want this weird backlight and all this weird shit. I shot this and I liked it, and I started packing up, so I'm like, I got the photo, I'm good, he was still trying. And then I thought, oh, I'll just shoot another one that's a little more like conventional. Shot this one, still added blur and stuff, but then immediately once I saw this, I thought, oh, this is the right photo for this trick. Because this trick is so gnarly and he works so hard on it that this just does, this was me playing artist, and this was me like documenting, right? And when the trick is at this caliber, you're like, documentation wins out sometimes. Obviously I like did some fun stuff to it that I still made it feel like I liked the photo, but that was a moment where I really needed not a safe photo, but a safer photo. Whenever there's a young photographer or skater, anyone kind of asking me advice on like how to do things, I say, okay, what are your goals? Like, what do you want out of this? Do you want to be the Thrasher staff photographer? Or like shoot the covers? Yeah, do you want to be the Ted? Like, Ted's gonna end up in San Francisco at some point, because that's the all roads lead to there, right? If you want to like run Thrasher magazine, yeah, you gotta be an SF. if you wanted to start your own mag and like shout out your own scene and like maybe get some sponsorship money from some brands through some local reps, like there's a million ways to do something and make something where you're at. So the answer is absolutely not. You don't have to do any of that shit. But if you want like certain things, it's like saying like you don't have to go to college to do anything. It's like, well, if you want to be a neurosurgeon, you have to go to college, right? Like there's just like, there's some things you need a degree for and some things you don't. With skaters, I say like, what's the career you want? Do you want to buy a house off skating, or do you want to have like 5 years of travel? You know, like, because they're two very different paths to go down. And if you're not worried about like, you know, retiring off this, then there's a whole way to have fun and do this, because there's not a lot of money in it. Something I did learn about the stick moment was, because that clip, like, for me, got seen more than anything I've ever done. The video got shared around. Like, a friend sent it to me, he was like, you're on ESPN, you know, and it was just like random places posted it. It was really cool, fun moment, but also tempting, because in modern media landscape, you have like, you catch a little fire and you have a gimmick. You see it. If you ever look at TikTok, there's people who make 1,200 videos doing the same thing every day, because people like that. But as an artist or a person who wants to make interesting things, it's like kills you. The idea of leading into a gimmick or doing the same thing every time. So a takeaway from this was like, yeah, I could shoot more photos with sticks, for sure. I love that shit. I love like the MacGyver aspect of like figuring out how to do something with nothing, and I really enjoy it. But I'm also like, I gotta be careful. You can't lean into your gimmicks too much, you know, it's a balance, and you don't want to be the stick guy or whatever. So that being said, if everyone wants to look under your chair right now, you have an official Matt Price Slow Impact photography stick. I'm not kidding, look under your chairs right now. Everyone has a stick. There's a stick under all the chairs right now. And here's the thing, there's 4 sticks that are painted. If you got a painted stick, come up to Ryan or myself, you get a prize. 2 people are gonna get a 14, I look at my 14 print with the Louis photo. And 2 people get some other prizes. I want this to be like
no painted stick.
You get a stick, you get a stick, you get a stick. In conclusion, don't be a gimmick, everybody. Thank you, I appreciate the time.
Also, Tempe spot seekers, please go street skating. Y'all are doing a really great job. There's almost like too much content, and I'm the only one managing it, so please keep the clips to a minimum. Post your best shit, tag us. I'm not going to repost everything. I personally am going to screen record them after 10 p.m. tonight, and we're going to figure out who's going to get the prizes. We're going to do the award ceremony here tomorrow. All right. Thanks, guys.
Song from his partner, Dying to Live. It's a Claimers, 500 miles. It's a fucking hit. When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you.
Alright, good morning. It's the last day here at Slow Impact, final day. It's been really fun, really chill weekend overall. I've been really enjoying all the panels and everyone talking and just like sharing all the information and whatnot. They're gonna do all the announcements of all the Spot Seeker awards, like best slam, best trick, best all the yada yada. So we'll see how that goes.
And Ted Barrow's panels today.
Wow.
Ted Barrow's architecture panel.
That's gonna be pretty cool. We got here early just to do maybe a little bit more interviews. We'll see how it goes.
Last day feeling great, feeling tired. I've kind of been realizing how much stuff we've been doing this Slow Impact compared to last year, and it's kind of amazing. I mean, Land's End documentary, epically later premiere the same night with an art show in between that's also a benefit if we skate after school. Like that day in and of itself is kind of insane to pull off programmatically. And we've done so much from there. Crews have made skate edits, fools have gone skateboarding. I have lovely sunburn and a hot pocket on my right ankle right now, so feeling great though, and very thankful to be here with everyone in community. One thing I've been thinking about a lot last night at the Anything at All reading was, or maybe it was the day before, but Rosie was talking about how Soul Impact is a movement, and I've just been thinking about that a lot. I know it just happened last night, but one of my highlights is the music show at the Cornish Pasty, that was just really cool. The Van Dyke Parks, this year it was more of like a one-man band, and it was fantastic. Like singing along to everything from Sonic Youth's Silver Rocket, I think, and Guided by Voices, while we're watching Steve Olson skate in this weird visual treatment. I mean, it's just fantastic. And Jokamundo killed it. Adam Burns absolutely killed it. The sound man has bars, and he's coming for your mixtape. So yeah, no, he killed it. I'm a very big Ted Barrow fan, so I'm excited to hear him talk. I didn't get to go on the architecture tour yesterday, but I'm stoked that they did that.
When I first got there was 10 people, and I was like, totally manageable. A little disappointing, but cool. And then next thing you know, it's like Braveheart, like just this rush, 40 people walking through the ASU campus with skateboards, not skating.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, the nice thing about these, this is like my 4th skate academic conference, kind of like a grizzled vet. And you know, you're surrounded by however many people end up showing up, 50, 100 people that are just as enthusiastic and interested in this thing as you are. And so I think that's very rarely in any other thing that I'm into do I get to be around so many people that with whom I have so much in common.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
First off, thank you to all of the artists that performed last night. All right, so I am going to go to a private place somewhere in the back of that gym with Eli, and we're going to go through all of the Spot Seeker submissions. There are like 200 clips mixed in with all of the content from last night's event, so it's a little bit of a headache, but we'll make it work. But yeah, I'm super stoked to announce this panel. Ted Barrow is a very dear friend of mine, Event City co-host, my Switch backside lodestar, and most importantly, a guy who is currently skating in the Tom Knox 600 New Balance shoe.
Thank you, Ryan. I'm super nervous. I was not a sober skater last night, and I first want to just thank everyone for being here. This is my 4th academic conference, 2 at Pushing Borders. This is the 2nd one I've done here. And the reason I keep doing it is because it truly is the highlight of my year, because I'm surrounded by people that care as much, if not more, about skateboarding and all of its many ways that it feeds into and enriches our lives and the lives of others. So I think that the modern ledge comes from his Barcelona pavilion of 1929. There it is right there, the first like real slab ledge. Bobby and Shane, memes aside, what the actual fuck are you guys up to with these things? Can we just start with that?
Basically, it's a critical metaphysical project which has a lot to do with ideas, and essentially it's about what hasn't been seen.
Yeah.
Which is a lot different than like an a posteriori design. We're doing like a priori. So we're designing not based on like, oh, I just copy pasted this ledge that I saw that was really cool. We're trying to think, it's a metaphysical in that it's beyond the physical, it's the ideal. We don't know what it is, we don't know what it looks like. We don't always design, it's not a top-down thing per se. We have processes that we go through, and then we select.
Okay.
So I don't want to get into the technology or the software or the scripts.
But you're using AI to design these things. You're using AI as a tool, yeah?
And it's super powerful because I think the skateboarders can start to imagine that thing now. And also for showing this to policymakers and people who are writing the brief for what, we're going to put a skate park here. Like, what could it be like? Who could it serve? What are the user groups? And I think we're not thinking critically enough about the user groups and what could be there. And I guess to the point earlier about like what's going to live on beyond skateboarding or skateboarding, has a rough patch coming up pretty soon. Like, you know, I think I like to imagine that we could build something that outlasts us.
From like a personal, professional standpoint, the panel was really fun. Shane, Bobby, Mike, Ted, just really good to like kind of, it's like shooting the shit, but about like architecture, city planning, stuff I nerd out about, stuff we need to skateboard in. As an academic that goes to like urban planning conferences and you give a presentation like that and people just start like shitting on your, like nitpicking various verbiage and all that. And I'm like, no, I meant this, I meant that. So yeah, Slow Impact's super cool. Thanks Ryan Lay, really appreciate everything.
Hi, just bear with me. Public speaking is not my strong suit, so I just wanted to say, I originally came out here because of the panel for Palestine, and I grew up in Rafah, Gaza. Growing up there, it was amazing in a sense of I met some amazing people, but you know, with the war and everything going on, it was tough as a kid, but in a sense, I understood controlled chaos and I kind of just dealt with it, you know, and eventually we got out of that controlled chaos. And when I first moved here, it was worse because it felt like I had all these just memories and these bad experiences and I was just expected to just throw them aside and live in a normal American society, you know. It was really tough, you know, making friends, and it was so bad to the point where I felt like nobody could ever relate to me, so I had to go by John because everyone thought that Haysem was a weird name, you know, teasing and bullying and all that. Until I found skateboarding. When I found skateboarding, it was such an accepting culture and it was a beautiful thing. When I gained certain respect from it, it got to a point where I was like, I'm gonna go as hard as I can in this because my people are out there, and any Palestinian kid that will look at a video of Haysem Abu Taha doing that can be like, there's a chance for me. And that's what I do it for.
So without further ado, best slam. Hell yeah, Bailey. Great shirt also. Another pair of shoes.
It's supposed to be called slow impact, not like fire impact.
Hell yeah, that was awesome.
Super eye-opening, honestly, as a recent graduate of college and skateboarder, not ever being at a skateboarding academia-based event. I was super hyped, like just overall really excited and like exposed to different thinking that I haven't thought about and power skating has, you know. And then most recent panel, the last panel, I was very stoked on talking about urban design and skateboarding and its relationship with skateboarding. It's funny because I'm new to the brand. I'm like the newest member of that whole crew, and the way they've tackled events and which ones to support have always been so authentic. Yeah. And I think it comes down to the team of who is really behind it. We want to support, like we as a New Balance want to support just authentic skateboarding and not try to please this mainstream crowd. Like we're talking about hard conversations sometimes, so so it's really cool. It's really cool to see New Balance as the face of it. Yeah, overall the event was super cool, meeting so many people that I've never, maybe I've seen on Instagram or internet in some way, and able to connect with them, able to fan out a little bit on some of the people here.
Same.
At least share my name with them and be like, cool, did my job, that's
right.
At least I checked that little box in my head that I was able to meet these people, so no, I'm really hyped on the event.
Sick, hell yeah. Appreciate it.
Dude, good to meet you too.
I like the idea that there's more street skateboarding incorporated this year, but looking forward to going to the Wedge and again, everyone's just been like super friendly and really nice, so appreciate the vibe here.
Obviously the panels are rad, the events are rad, but I think just everyone's smiling everywhere you look, and it's a really sick time.
I just want to like rethink Ryan and all the volunteers and sponsors, because having done a one-day event at the West LA Courthouse, it took so much effort. I was under constant stress and duress, so I really appreciate everything they do. I know next year might be a bit of a stretch, but it would be great if there's another Slow Impact.
I like these things. I hope someone does one of these somewhere in the world every year going forward. You know, the panels are nice. It's nice to over intellectualize skateboarding for a bit, but mostly it's just great to get a bunch of like-minded skaters together, drinking beers and talking about shit and making connections. Yeah.
Slow Impact funny on the naming of it. The impact of it can be very huge. You're talking to people that are really willing to make bigger changes in their community. Ideally, they do. A handful of people, the last person I questioned in the urban design panel was like, has an opportunity to make a change and have an event or an actual project to be worked on. Right. I think she got good insight.
I've learned a lot. I've met wonderful folks, reflected, got to move my body a little bit, see people that we knew and new people. So I've seen how coming together has a slow impact, to quote Tim Ward. And it's nice to have a space that isn't dominated by the kind of default logics of skateboarding. You know, the crew that's gathered here is conscious and thinking about the relationship between like what we do and the world, and it's not neutral. You don't just show up at a spot, as Doug Miles Sr. reminded us, we're on native land. that dynamic there is really important to emphasize, that we as people that come together outside of our individual ideas and collectively try to create something that has an impact that has a long history, right? I mean, you even asking this question is part of a long history of people documenting meaning making at the moment. Keep doing this work. We need the documentarians that ask questions about and create spaces for people to be infinitely different, which is really the origins of skating.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.